Right, so thank you everybody. My name's Jim Jenkinson and I'm the father of the bride, for those of you that don't know me, okay? My first job here today is obviously to congratulate Sally and Jason, but also to welcome us all here today. It's a fabulous venue. Look at this. And I have to say, when Sally and Jason first said to me, was it 2 years ago or whatever, she came to me and said, "Dad, we're going to get married in a barn." and it's on a farm. And of course I thought, well, yeah, God, how does that add up? Will I have to muck out animals and horses? Why wasn't Auntie Jan's garden available for this wedding? But no. In fact, of course, this place scrubs up fantastic. Look at it. It's a great venue. And well done, Sally and Jason, for choosing this venue. Yeah. Okay, that's good.
I'm going to applaud myself. This is beautiful.
Right, and massive thanks to Sally and Jason today for just even getting this show on the road. I mean, I would have to say, a month ago, I wouldn't have thought we were all going to be sat here like this. I mean, we all watch the news, we all read the news, and even a week ago when this wedding, they said it could go ahead with restrictions and unclear government guidance, and I can't even imagine how stressful that has been for the happy couple. Okay, really stressful. In fact, I mean, we all know Jason with his thick mane of black hair. Some of you, the more astute of you, might have noticed he's now got grey hairs in that black mane. I noticed that. They'll all be looking, Jason, later on. They'll all be holding your hairs up. And I'm sure that's as a result of the stress they've had to go through. So, again, thank you very much, Sally and Jason, for even getting this on the road, and the events team at this place here. It's been a real struggle. But we're all here today, those of us who could make it, and, we're going to make it Sally and Jason's best ever day. Right, guys? Yeah. Absolutely. But just as an aside, those of you who are on Facebook, and that includes me these days, even though I'm a really old man, will have seen some of Jason's posts about having a fight with the Prime Minister. Have a fight with the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, in order for the wedding to go ahead. Okay, now, fortunately, of course, the wedding is going ahead, so... But, I mean, I would have paid any money to see that fight. I would have paid my entire pension to see that fight there. But the question is, who would have won? Who would have won? I don't know. Boris Johnson, he's probably fitter than he looks, I think. He plays tennis. He used to bike to work, but he's got a flat in town now, so he doesn't do that anymore. I don't know. It could have gone either way. But I think we're going to have a snap poll here and now to find out what would have happened in that fight. So everyone, right, in a fight between the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, and Jason, the solution, Szollosi, who would have won that fight? So first of all, put your hands up if you think Boris Johnson, our leader, would have won that fight. What is this? About 10. Put your hands up if you think that Jason, the solution, would have won that. Thank you, everyone. That was so it would have been a unanimous judge's decision, Jason, if that fight would have gone ahead, but how romantic that he offered to fight the bad guy to win the hand in marriage of his lady. How lovely is that? Right, I have to talk about Sally now. She is my daughter. Okay, so Sally was born obviously 26 years ago, and I'm an old man now, and I watch a lot of telly and all that kind of thing. But I can remember at the time, I thought, well, you know, when you go and have a baby these days, you go into hospital and you're there, and there's doctors and nurses, and you stay in hospital for days on it, like in Call the Midwife. We all kind of watch that show. None of that. When Sally was born, she was born about 6 o'clock in the morning. By 12 o'clock that same day, we were back at home having a cup of tea. And Sally wasn't having a cup of tea, but her mother and myself was, and Mother Margaret. And we had a lovely day. We had people came and visited us during the day. But there got a point, kind of tea time, where all the well-wishers had gone home. And Margaret is Sally's mother, of course. She was obviously feeling a bit tired. She'd been up all night having a baby. So she went to bed. And all of a sudden, I was just sat there for the first time in my life. I was sat there on my own, holding this baby. Oh, I'd never even held a baby before. And I just wondered, what do you do? What if she cries? What if she poops? All those questions like that, you know. And it was just, but it was a magical moment. It stuck with me all these years, you know. It was just a lovely moment.
She was a beautiful baby.
Ever since that moment, I mean, Sally and I have always been close from that moment, really. You know, we've always spent a lot of time together. We do a lot of things together, always have, and we still do. You know, we still do now. And I cherish those times that we spend together now, just as much as I did back in those days when she was a little kid. She's just a lovely daughter. Lovely Sally. Right. So she looks stunning today, but what did she look like? Or what was she like when she was a child? Right? So as Mary Poppins would say, practically perfect in every way. So, and that is literally what Sally was like. I was having a talk to Sally a while back, and I had to think, I can't ever remember a time where I had to tell Sally off. As a child, when she was just so well behaved and so nice. You know. Now I'm sure that probably her mother, and certainly Auntie Jan, at some point had to have some cross words, but I never did. You know, she was always so happy and sociable, interested in everybody and everything around her. She was just a joy to be with for her mother and myself. You know, and. You know, thank you, Sally. It was a lovely childhood. And I just have to mention quickly there as well, because I always like to think that myself and Margaret and Mother did a good job as parents, but there was a third one really, and that is the legend who is known as Auntie Jan in the family, and who was a fantastic positive influence on Sally all the way through. I mean, Auntie Jan, we love you so much. That is from Sally and myself. Sorry, Jan, it's the first time I've made you cry. I know that.
You're not supposed to do that.
Right. She was always strong-willed. She always knew what she wanted to do with her life. So when she was a little kid, she wanted to be a dog.
I knew the story was going to come up.
The family also. For some reason, she became fixated with a movie called Balto about a sled dog. And she would spend many a happy hour scampering around the house on all fours, barking at the postman, sniffing at the furniture, but fortunately never weeing on the furniture. Otherwise, that would have had to have been a kennel job outside. Okay, look. Anyway, but from secondary school, Sally's always been a very caring person. And from secondary school, we always knew that she wanted to work in some way in the medical professions. So when she got to the right age, I mean, it was a really proud moment for her mother and myself when we packed her off to Hull University for 3 years of hard partying, learning how to stay up all night, sleep all day. I think the course was called nursing, but I think that was... the nursing bit was just something they did in between parties, I think. But anyway, it must have done her some good because Sally now has a dream job as a paediatric nurse in a children's intensive care unit. And it is a dream job. Many of you probably know as well that last year in the pandemic, Sally had to spend a few months looking after adult COVID care patients as well. That was a really tough time, I know, for Sally. But we thank her and our other NHS nurses for their service.
Table over there who also did COVID with me, so let's raise a glass to them as well to say
thanks very much. Right, my last question then. I'm running out of time. My last question. So Sally is really important to me, as you know. So what mere human male could possibly ever be good enough to marry my practically perfect daughter? And of course the answer is, seems to be sat right here. But I couldn't be more delighted, I'll tell you now. I've got to know Jason well over the last few years. He's a lovely lad, he really is. He makes Sally happy. What a couple they make as well. You know, they are the very definition of a perfect match. Nobody I know is better than that. Such a team, so comfortable with each other, and I know they're going to have a really long and happy marriage.
yeah.
Okay. That's good. Right, so traditionally then at this time, this is the point where I'd be welcoming Jason into Sally's family. Okay, but to be honest, he already is a much-loved member of Sally's family, you know. He's as much a part of Sally's family as a pair of Auntie Jan's old slippers. The family loves him, but I'm sure that I'll speak on behalf of the family to welcome Jason as their new son-in-law officially into the family. He's a lovely boy. Right, so I'm getting to the end now. This is the bit where I offer some words of wisdom to the happy couple as they go on their journey together in life. Okay, so, and I did have a look on Dr. Google for some good ideas, but I don't know. But in the end, I'm going with a quote from a movie, okay? So it's an old black and white movie, a favourite of mine. Let's see if anybody knows this. It's actually a song as well. Okay. So, it's still the same old story, a fight for love or glory, a case of do or die. The world will always welcome lovers as time goes by. And today, the world welcomes Jason and Sally. I was just going to say stand up, but of course we can't stand up, can you? So can you now sit down then for the toast? So it now gives me great pleasure to propose a toast to the long life and happiness together of Jason and Sally. So everybody, Jason and Sally. Thank you very much, everybody.
Hello everyone, for those who don't know me, my name is Michael, I'm Jason's older, clearly smarter, best little brother. I wanted to say a few short words on this special day about this lovely couple. When we were younger, I was always more of an outdoors person. Jason was quite the opposite. He used to hibernate in his room, no one really knew what he was up to. We could hear moans, groans, and the occasional thud. No, don't worry, he wasn't watching X-rated movies. He was just playing Halo instead. Which turns out he gets even turned on more. I'm here to be happy he made a career out of it. Anyway, back to the point. We all came to the conclusion that he was doomed to be single forever. But one day he told me he had met this lovely girl called Sally, who was a nurse. I thought, oh, that's good. Maybe she can give him some medication for his obvious issues. Then I realised that he just brought Sally down to his level. And from that point I knew she was a keeper and definitely half the family. In all truthfulness, I can honestly say, in all the time that I've known them together, apart from waking up at 6 a.m. in the morning, finding Sally and my girlfriend Rebecca, still drunk in the garden from the night before singing, she has been an absolute inspiration to us all, and genuinely joy to be around and life the party. She has brought out the best in Jason, and I can tell that she makes him extremely happy. I would like everyone to raise their glass with me as I say, Sally, welcome to the family. And I wish you both the best of luck for the future together. Sally and Jason.
Can we stand up This has been altogether too nice. Let's bring the tone down. I'm only joking, a little bit. All right. Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for coming for the wedding, to the wedding of Sally and Jason, okay? I am one half of the best men for this afternoon, and I endeavour over the next few minutes to make Jason regret that decision with every fibre of his being. Now, obviously choosing a best man is a difficult job, and I certainly don't envy it. I'd find it quite hard to pick my best friend to kind of, represent all of that. But Jason hasn't done that. He's done the classic thing of wimping out and choosing two people. So you're going to have to put up with both of us, I'm afraid, so sorry about that. But and I was going to make a little point about kind of criticising his decision-making and stuff like this through his life, not about you, Sally. But actually, over the last 2 weeks, it's been ridiculous. So actually, I can't really criticise decision-making because he and Sally have been absolutely amazing organising this wedding, with new changes coming every single day, new regulations, and literally endless complications. It's been ridiculous. But luckily for them, Sally and Jason have a wonderful family behind them, supporting both of them every step of the way. And here we are. So I'm stunned he was able actually to cut 60 people out of his wedding. But here you are, the special 60. So much for quality over quantity, I guess. A bit ridiculous. But there we are. But anyway, before I dive too deep in, Sally's family have asked me actually to refrain from indecent comments, swearing, too many vulgar stories and stuff like that about their future son-in-law or their daughter, innocent daughter.
Just another group of people who will be really fucking regretting Jason's decision by the end of this speech. Okay, right, so you might be thinking, wow, and you've probably seen me before, this guy's a bit of an arsehole, and I am. But I'll get into why someone even as awful as me could be picked as half of a best man. Okay, so literally, the pickings are slim in Jason's friend group, let me tell you. Okay, Jason, I want to preface this by saying Jason is genuinely a great guy. He is really nice. Everyone here likes him, presumably. And, we know that he's actually a sincere person. We've heard lovely things said about him already. So literally, it's been crazy. He can tell you a lot about a person by the company he keeps. They say that, so they say that you can tell a lot about a person by the company he keeps. But if that was the case, then I'd assume Jason was the biggest arsehole in the world, because his friends are awful. And I know, because I'm the best one. It's ridiculous. Anyway, so, seriously, his friends are absolutely useless, okay? Ross and I were constantly forgetting things about the wedding. We are rubbish. It's been ridiculous. Even like yesterday, I didn't realise what was happening on. Timings, what we need to do, what our roles were. Sally literally messaged us about a month ago asking if we'd planned a mini-stag, because our other one got cancelled, and we were like, no. We haven't planned anything. So Sally basically planned your stag, Jason, so congratulations on that one. But we pulled our finger out of our ass and we did it in the end, so it's all good. So we did it, and then we got there in the end. But literally, one of his groomsmen, literally the other day, messaged asking where the wedding was and how he was going to get there. That's how bad we are. Literally, this is the level we're dealing with, guys. All right. And again, so like I've already mentioned, one of the jobs of a best man is to organise a stag do. So despite briefly mentioning uselessness, I had planned a trip abroad, booked a number of activities, timings for the weekend, all this. Ross and I organised flights, and we just needed to get the numbers. So a year and a half ahead of time, Jason gave me a list of people he wanted me to message and kind of like say, invite them to their, to the stag do and celebrate getting married to the wonderful Sally. So while organising this, I messaged a Facebook group, we mentioned Facebook already, with all the potential attendees, minus Jason, of course, he wasn't in that, and I told them what we were doing, what it was going to be, and literally the first part of that was a big capital thing: do not tell Jason any of this. Please do not reveal any of this information to him. I was in a chat with Jason at the time, Discord, it's a voice communication thing, with one of the people who received this message. And within 17 seconds of me sending that message, he said, "Is Prague really expensive, Jason? I don't know where we go. What's it?" Are you joking? Read the message. Oh, sorry, mate. Oh, yeah, sorry. He's not even going. He's one of the people that pulled out. Jesus. Right, anyway, so ridiculous. And so talking about non-attendance to the stag do, here are some of the reasons I got given. And it's all right if you don't want to come, he's not that great a guy. But literally, here are some of the rubbish reasons I got a year and a half in advance. Sorry, mate, I can't make it. I think I might have a uni assignment due in around then. It's on a weekend, 1.5 years away. How prepared is this man that he knows he's got an assignment a year and a half to go, and he's not even going to do it so he can go on a stag do? Ridiculous. Right. Other one, sorry, I don't think I can afford it. Perfectly reasonable, to be fair. It's 350 quid all in all. And in fact, it's pretty hard to put £20 a month aside for a year and a half. So I get it, yeah, fair enough. My pet rat has separation anxiety, so I can't leave it for more than a day. All right. Sorry, mate, don't think I'm going to be able to afford it. Perfectly common theme, with going on that. 350 quid, quite a lot. The next week he bought a house. Clearly, every penny counts. Not sure I can make it, mate. I don't think I'll know anyone. I was like, Jason gave me your name. You're his friend. What? Yeah, anyway. I can't make it because I haven't actually ever gone on holiday with my girlfriend before, and I'd feel bad going on a lad's holiday before ever taking her anywhere. Not a crazy excuse, I kind of understand that, but also, he's been with that woman for 7 years. Take your girlfriend on a holiday. What the... Sorry. Anyway, Jesus. God. I hope you treat Sally better than your mates treat their partners, that's what I'm going to say. And so the final tally for the stag do, it turns out in the end, is Ross and I, thankfully, someone from work, that's going to be good, Jason's brother Steve, Sally's dad, and my 2 best mates from uni. So that's all I could get. Sorry, Val. Even with this elite 60 people that are here, you special people. My parents are here. I didn't even want them at my wedding. How have they stuck it here? Ridiculous. All in all, it's pretty safe to say that Jason doesn't necessarily have the most reliable friends, okay? Hence the reason someone as hateful and spiteful as me is up here being the best man, okay? Representing the best of his friend group. And you might think I'm nearing the end here, but honestly, I've only just got started.
Let us turn back the clocks and show how Sally ruined a beautiful friendship. You guys might have not known this, but Chief used to consider himself a bit of a loner. He tended to think of himself as a one-man wolf pack. But when his family brought Jason home, he knew he was one of his own, and his wolf pack grew by one. There was two of them in this wolf pack. So there was Jason and Chief in this wolf pack. Later, Jason introduced myself to these guys, and Chief thought, wait a second, could it be? And he knew for sure. I've just added another to my wolf pack. There was three of us running around together looking for strippers and cocaine. Things were good for some time, me, Jason and Chief, spending our weekends getting drunk, very unsuccessfully trying to pick up women. Sexually, yes. That didn't happen. We had very different standards. Chief preferred tall, dark, handsome men for some reason.
literally did.
But one fateful drunken birthday weekend, things changed for Jason when Sally wished him a happy birthday, or as the kids are calling it these days, slid into his DM. After this moment, it was all downhill for the Wolfpack. We would see less and less of Jason because the she-devil started taking away to us and taking to Grimsby. Queen Booty, as she was referred to by Jason, had managed to worm her way into our lives and didn't seem to be going anywhere. So I had to take drastic steps to save our relationship. I asked Jason to move in with me. And of course he said yes. But Queen Booty was still hanging around like a bad smell. So I needed to find a new angle to lure Jason away. And this is where I got creative to find someone that could tick all of Jason's boxes. This nerd fuckboy.
Hello.
But alas, Sally's clutches on Jason had become so strong that even this specimen failed to free him from her. So now we've made it to the present day. We're all at the funeral of our dear friend Jason. And it was nice knowing you. Good luck with the marriage.
If you haven't already guessed, we're going to be switching back and forth a bit. So when I first met Jason, it was actually visiting Ross, like we mentioned, at our house party, and we instantly got on. We actually loved the same things, Star Wars, same music, gaming, similar sense of humour. We just kind of clicked. And he is an absolutely massive nerd. It's ridiculous, and I love him for it. The traditional thing, I guess at this stage of the kind of best man speech, we kind of looked at these things, and we were like, oh, how are we going to do this? But it's to give everyone a little insight into Jason, to people who might not know him behind closed doors. So we share some stories about him that might be refreshing for some people for the first time. So for example, I'm just going to give you a little anecdote here. Did you know Jason's penis is technically worth £1,000? It's true. That's right. Jason was once paid £1,000 to sleep with a woman.
Not true.
It's true. It's 100% true. No. Yeah, it's true. Well, technically, in fairness, technically, she gave you £1,000 to go on a date with her. Yeah. And you thought, £1,000, that's worth 27 seconds of grunting. It's got to get her what she wants. You know how it is, Jason. Am I right, Sally? Sorry.
To be honest, that was one of Jason's smartest investments from over the years. Here are a few of his less successful investments. Jason was once a captain of a boat, which he decided to buy with a group of friends. In all the time that they owned the boat, Jason never actually got to use the boat, and it was swiftly sold. Great boat.